Hello, guys. How are you? Okay. Take a shower. And yeah, um, Woofy and Shar, I have the best mods. I was thinking about that when I was in the shower. Just all of them are so wonderful. I love them so much. Thank you, Sandy. I actually was already looking before I came back on. Oh, thank you, Thrive for Shanann. Thank you, Shar. I was rushing around getting ready, and I have this new lip gloss I tried, which has cinnamon and hey, Stephanie. Thank you, Miss Milky the Clown. It has cinnamon and something else in it, and yeah, it's burning my lips. But let me check and see if there is anything yet. Thank you, Miss Milky. You guys are awesome. Thank you all. Okay. Crime Talk. Nothing yet. Oh, 1 minute ago. Lauren Sharf. Hey, Olive Juice. She says, back on the record. Under Sheriff Andy R. is on the stand. Barry Morphew took off his suit jacket and rolled up his sleeves. He tucked in his shirt when the judge entered the courtroom. So, it's exciting. Oh, thank you, Hannah. Thank you, guys. I think it's so much fun. Okay, and we have Ashley Franco from KKTV back from lunch break. We'll start off continuing with cross-examination of Under Sheriff R. Hey, Nadia. Jamie Leary is not back yet. Crumb Talk. Carol McKinley isn't back yet, but she did tweet during lunch and said, defense and prosecution are both scoring points today. Morphew turns, smiles at family with eyes over his mask every chance he can. At times, he and his attorneys exchange yellow sticky notes. Moonlight Pizza delivered food at lunch. That's the place the Morphews like to eat. Which is interesting. I like those little, I like when they do that because I want, to be able to picture it. You know what I mean? Okay. Ayton, I don't know how to pronounce the defense attorney's name. It's Eytan, is asking him about the sleeping bag found near Suzanne Morphew's bike. It wasn't tested for DNA. Under Sheriff R suggested it could have flown out of a bed of a truck. Hey, Cheryl. That's one of my special mods right there. Hey, Meg. Meg has been one of the people I remember. We've been talking about waiting on this affidavit to come out for months. Hey, Jax. Okay, sure. We'll be here. Okay. Ashley Franco from KKTV says Undersheriff says Barry Morphew's DNA was on the bike, but he was not sure where. Defense says Chaffee County deputies had DNA on the bike too. Defense says only place Barry's DNA was on the bike seat. Undersheriff says he's not sure where it was found. No, Meg, no affidavit, but we have gotten some interesting information. Just talking about, well, not a ton of it actually. scratch marks on Barry's arm. They said the bike was not, an expert looked at the bike and the seat and the handlebars were not in the position they would be in if there was an accident, but they were in the position they would be in when you push a bicycle. Really, that's about all. If you guys in the chat can think of anything that stood out to you, Wolfie said one earlier that was good, but my brain is not. I mean, I'm thinking about a million things every minute. So Susan Morphew, okay, 1 minute ago, Lauren Scharf said Susan Morphew's bike had DNA of Barry, but not on the handlebars. R, which is that officer, keeps telling Eaton that he doesn't know where on the bike that Morphew's DNA was located. Hey, Gemma. I know, Meg. How are you feeling today? How are you doing? Nothing from Ashley Franco. My personal favorite to read is Crime Talk because they give, like I showed you guys earlier, that picture that he put on there, they give the visuals and stuff. So let me see. I'll just put a request to join your Facebook page. I hope I got the right one. Yeah, let me look while we're waiting. Let me check real fast and then I'll go check. Make sure you get in. Okay, 46 seconds ago, Lauren Scharf says E, the defense attorney, is showing the body cam video of Barry Morphew touching the bike. She says he was touching the back of the bike near the seat, and R is saying you can't see from this angle because there is another person in front of Barry. Let me go to Facebook real quick, make sure you get in. Like I said, it's really slow paced over there. I should do more with it, but there's a lot of amazing people in there. One member request. Yep, I got you, Vicky. Awesome. Crime Talk is a she today. I don't know. Did I say she? Oh, okay. He has a girl there today. I see. That's awesome, Meg. I'm so happy to hear that. Okay. Okay, 33 seconds ago, Lauren Scharf says, now they are discussing the marks on Barry Morphew, marks on his hands and arm. E wants to know the measurements, and R doesn't know because he said he didn't measure the 3 markings, the fingernail injuries he had testified to. Ooh, interesting. So the defense is trying to say, those likely weren't Suzanne's. But we'll see. Maybe they're trying to say that. They're definitely trying to create doubt around the scratch marks. Okay. Ashley Franco says, defense now asking about injuries on Barry Morphew's left arm. They're talking about 3 small cuts on his arm. Defense argues that there were only 2 marks and the third was a healing cut. The undersheriff says he disagrees. Ooh. Hey, Miss Tammy. Crime Talk is a she. He has someone there for him, which I knew he did. I didn't know who. But they always have really descriptive tweets, which I like, as far as visually and stuff. I don't like it when we can't see in there. It just, No fun. I'd like to see a picture of those fingernail marks. Defense wins. She fought back. Yeah, his girls are there. He sent his employee, Julie. Now the injuries are important for our side. Dang it. Well, I don't know. I think that even like, let's just say that in the picture, it looks like it possibly could be 2 marks and one that's healing. Even if they actually aren't that way and they're all 3 the same, but in the picture, there's a little bit of doubt the defense is going to use that. You know what I mean? I wonder. Okay. Allie, who is there, she's not a reporter, but she says, this was from 2 hours ago, and I hadn't seen this because I only followed the check marks. But she said Barry Morphew is frantically passing notes to defense attorney during Undersheriff R's testimony regarding fingernail-looking scratches on his hands and arms, as well as the bike scene. Okay, Crime Talk says the afternoon starts with Eaton and R. Barry Morphew enters the courtroom holding his suit jacket. From AK, we know the Garfield mine. It's a large producer of lead. This is a screenshot of the GIS we use to track searches and points of interest. The heart is the location of the blue shirt they have. Oh wow, Mystic Firefly, that is so cool that you got got that information. I found Gypsy Lou on here, who was in here last time, which is cool. It's kind of just a waiting game. We just have to wait and keep searching. We know something's going to happen, though. He will never tell where she is, in my opinion. I agree. You know, some people, they will fight until the end, until they're caught in different things. You know what I mean? Maybe cheating or lying or whatever, kids that are getting in trouble. Some people have the personality type to fight till the end, and some people don't, and I think he's the type that will. Oh, awesome, Gypsy Lou. Thank you. That's so cool. I have to follow you on here. Oh, I am following you. I must have already done it then. Yeah. Okay. This is a joint Twitter that I share with 2 friends of mine who also have channels, and I haven't put it in this video yet, but in most of my videos I have a long description and their channels are in there. One is called CDT, one is Amber Truth Seeker, and the Twitter is a joint Twitter, so that we can tweet, which we need to use more, but so we can tweet at, you know, different prosecutors or whatever, so that we can have a way to communicate. I think his daughters are his motivation for not revealing the truth, and I'd say you are right there. Okay. Lauren Sharp, 1 minute. E said when people disappear, they don't always use their identification. So, if Suzanne Morphew disappeared, she wouldn't use her ID when referring to Suzanne leaving her purse in the car. I guess. I mean, it's possible. But you can't buy, like, you can't buy much without your ID. And you can't, like, if she was going to go out of the country or something. Okay. 3 minutes ago, Crime Talk says E wants to go over the 3 injuries on Barry's left arm brought up by the state. 3 parallel markings. Maybe scratching from nails, ? Roderick. I can't make any conclusions. I don't know. Eaton is visibly annoyed. Roderick. Okay, Lauren was spelling his name wrong. I think his name is Roderick, so. Because the reason I was calling him R is it was spelled Rohrich, which I don't know. Is it true that the prosecution doesn't need to or normally doesn't reveal all the evidence? Yes, it is. So the preliminary hearing, they have to prove enough that will show, like, that this person needs to continue to be held, that they have a good enough reason to hold this person behind bars. But they usually don't show even, but maybe like a quarter of their evidence or half. They don't show a lot. A lot of times they want to save it for trial because that's, when the jury's in there and when it matters. And a lot of times they want, just like in any investigation, they hold stuff back, may hurt the investigation. They want to wait for the perfect timing to release it. So, yeah, that is true. Probably because they want to save some surprises for the prosecution for the trial. They don't want them to know too much. Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, that's most likely in almost all of these cases. We're just going to get a really small percentage of the evidence. Yeah, there's more to come for sure. Let's see what we can find now. Okay. Suzanne's cell phone, 2 minutes ago, Lauren Sharf says Suzanne's cell phone was not found in the investigation. Her phone charger was not at the home either, which would have been at her bedside. I need to go out of camera to take a drink. What if what they show now is not enough to go to trial? I mean, if, say, they don't have a lot, that could be possible. It's certainly possible. And it's a worry that I think we all have. But the prosecutor said when he was arrested that there was enough, that she was confident, she had no worries. And I do believe that she's a really experienced prosecutor. I think Profiling Evil might have a podcast episode with her or a show with her, and it came out like right before he was arrested, if my memory serves me correct. That was a while ago, but Ashley Franco says, defense asked undersheriff about the unspent .22 shell found on the floor next to where Suzanne Morphew slept. They say there was no blood in the room, on the bed, or any of the walls, or anywhere in the master bedroom. Yeah, they still have tomorrow too. And I know, like, the first day they got half of the witnesses that they wanted to call that day. And the judge has been, reminding the defense that they only have so much time because, like, the defense is only supposed to bring up what the prosecution brings up. They are only supposed to, like, combat that. And a lot of times they'll go over just trying to I don't know. I don't want to say that. I could say they're intentionally trying to take their time because they know there's a time limit, but I don't know that. You know what I mean? So, I feel they are holding off on the smoking gun. I hope so. Which we do have some. I mean, I think that we have a lot of evidence. Okay. Lauren Scharf says missing journal. E asked, do you know if there were love notes about her lover, Jeff Libler, in the journal? Roderick said no. Or hateful stuff about Barry either. The defense attorney said, do you know if there were love notes about her lover in the journal? And he said no. And I don't know if there was hateful stuff about Barry either. That's funny. Okay. Ashley Franco. The defense shows Under Sheriff a picture of a half-full coffee cup next to the kitchen sink. Defense says Suzanne Morphew is an avid coffee drinker and that Barry Morphew doesn't drink coffee. Under Sheriff said he didn't investigate that. A lot of people, Cheryl, say that she was a very sweet woman. And as a matter of fact, a lot of times when you are hearing about these cases, we hear about, the victim, the bad parts of the victim too. And until we heard about her affair, we really hadn't heard anything bad about her at all, which was rare. I mean, now we have the affair, but Lauren Sharp. A white coffee cup was sitting on the kitchen counter that was half full next to the sink. The undersheriff said it was out of the ordinary because it wasn't clean. And then 7 seconds ago, Lauren says Suzanne Morphew always had a cup of coffee in the morning. According to the defense, Barry Morphew has never had a cup of coffee. But how hard would it be if he was staging that she woke up, drank some coffee, and got on her bike ride? If he was going to stage the bike ride, I mean, it wouldn't be that hard to think he would stage the coffee, in my opinion, if that was something that she did every day and she was known for. Well, Cheryl, you know what? That's exactly what happened. She had texted him saying that she was done, and those texts had been deleted, but that was like, I think May 6th. I should be writing this down. But yeah, so just a couple days before. Maybe that was the day before coffee. Exactly, yes. And probably I wouldn't say that, men are less likely to clean up everything. It could have been. Let's see. I just searched the complete wrong thing on Twitter. That's so funny. Oh, thank you, Allie. That's awesome. And you're so welcome. And Voices Behind the Wall is another creator on the platform who does true crime and has videos with Dawn Wells and lots of good videos. I think the affair was part of trying to take back her power, and it's been stated Barry was on Ashley Madison and numerous infidelities but wouldn't let Suzanne divorce him. I still have to go back and watch some of those videos. There's just not enough time for everything. Oh my gosh. Me too, Stephanie. I've seen a couple people say that too, like at least she was happy. Andy knew her well and said how kind she was. Nobody ever said a bad word about her either. She was loved and still is. Yep, that's the truth. Because I remember thinking about that, before all of this, how we weren't hearing, the bad side of her in any way like that. I do wonder, I agree, Casey Jakes, why Jeff didn't come forward for 6 months. That's odd to me. But, I mean, I don't know. I know he was probably terrified of his wife finding out and stuff. But why not go ahead and tell her, because she's going to find out. No, Kashi said, well, I can't say your name. Yes, at least she was happy. Lots of people actually do have that opinion. We can all have different opinions here. We just have to be nice to each other. That's the cool part about it, is when we have different opinions, we learn from each other and we grow, and we, it's a good thing. But a lot of people actually say that. And we know that, it's wrong and everything, that she was having an affair. But it's not an uncommon opinion. And I agree with it. I think at least, everybody needs to feel loved. It's good for everybody. Everybody needs to feel loved and needs to feel love. And I understand that's wrong. He should have been a man and told his wife and left the relationship, obviously. And he should have told her after Suzanne went missing. That's my opinion. But it can be both things. Maybe scared of the wife and Barry. Okay, let's see. Garfield Mine round trip from the Morphew home is 6.2 miles, not 18 to 19 miles missing from Barry's truck odometer. That's from Lauren Sharf 1 minute ago. It doesn't make her any less victim. No, it doesn't. Even the people that are actually not that, like, they have flaws, they're still victims too and deserve justice. We all have flaws, you know what I mean? And some people just have more obvious ones than others. And you know what? Maybe Suzanne and Jeff were waiting until their kids were older to separate, to try to protect their kids. Wait, where'd you go, Shannon? I love that. I recall Jeff saying he was terrified of Barry. And he knew, based on Barry's reputation in high school, Jeff knew Barry would take him out for being with his wife. There you go. Why haven't they really talked about her conversation with a friend about the wedding that ended abruptly? They talked about it a little bit, and it's okay. In the first couple of days, they talked about it a little bit. Sorry, I read this one, and it's okay that you come off combative. Like, just try, and we'll try too, because it's good for us to debate about it. I don't want just everybody who only thinks like me. I think it's so cool to go back and forth, but I don't think that we should mistreat each other or act like the other one's like stupid for thinking that way and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because even Jeff and Suzanne, everyone, like, for what they did, there's always a reason behind why people are the way they are, why they do what they do. And a lot of times we judge what they do or how they are before we ever think about the reason. She did, Cersei, because remember the text Jeff sent Suzanne that his wife is at Costco. Kids are adults. He has 6. Mystic Firefly says they're all adults. I thought they said they were minor children. I know nothing about his children, I'll be honest. So much better than Shanann Watts, who was murdered while pregnant and in the midst of discovering husband having an affair with a dead woman. Casey, Shanann is constantly, talked about and mistreated. But we all have flaws. Like, we all have things wrong with us. And yeah, I read in an interview that Jeff was not scared of Barry. Interesting. It does appear like Barry was more obsessive controlling from the little I know. Okay, let me see. Defense Exhibit PP is a picture of Barry Morphew's dart rifle in his gun safe. E is asking Under Sheriff Roderick how to load the dart gun as well as put serum in the dart. Hey, Mark. Okay. Yeah. And I think we all care so much about this stuff that it's hard not to like kind of butt heads about certain things because it's obviously important to us or we wouldn't be here, you know? Hey, Mexie. Thank you for stopping by. I've been reading Twitter all day long trying to keep up with court. And you guys, I was on Mexie's Patreon on Saturday and it was really fun. You should definitely go check it out. And go check out his channel in general. He's does paranormal investigations. He's done stuff on this case and lots of other really good ones. And he does a really good job. Okay, Mystic Firefly. I totally get it. I don't even realize it either. I wrote a thank you note. It was a blast. So happy you were able to join. Yeah, it was so fun. I loved it. Thank you for having me. He was interviewed by the police. So did he say in that interview that he wasn't scared of Barry? Yes, thank you, Shar, for sharing Mexie's channel. I know I have some new people here that may not know about him, and you definitely have to check him out. Interesting. Thank you, Immature Eagle. I'd like to have the transcripts of that interview. It'd be very interesting. Under Sheriff R, this is from Lauren Sharf 1 minute ago, watched most of the body cam video of his deputies for this case, but hadn't seen one video that Eaton wanted to show, so we didn't see it. Now the state is redirecting. All right, let's go see who else has anything to say about that. Okay, Ashley Franco with KKTV said redirect happening now with the undersheriff. Prosecution starts off going back to what Barry Morphew's demeanor was like when he showed up at the scene. Undersheriff says there were crocodile tears and they were fake. Defense says otherwise. Interesting. Oh, crap. Crime Talk. Let's see if they... No, they don't. This is where we might get some information. It is a redirect, so, maybe not, but it's possible. Okay. 29 seconds ago, Lauren Sharf said, Under Sheriff R said when Barry Morphew first got to the bike scene, he had crocodile tears, like fake tears at the beginning, which that was on Ashley's. One of Jeff's daughter and brother knew about the affair. Ooh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Yeah, Barry Morphew had crocodile tears. Yeah, no fighting in here. Let's just all agree to disagree about stuff. I think we're doing pretty good, though. Okay. Under Sheriff R is now looking at the last photo of Suzanne Morphew sunbathing. She was laying on a brown towel that investigators never found. Jeff's daughter apparently found messages from Suzanne on his phone when she went to use his phone. Ooh. Thank you guys for that. I hadn't seen that. That's interesting. Good to know. Maybe I can show you guys some of these for a minute. So here is the one with his hands, with one of the wounds that were on his hands. You can see really clear there. There's some that were like on the outside of his hands that we can't see here, and then the scratch marks on his arm. And they've been talking about that some today. Here is a job that he had recently done, actually during the time when she went missing, and one of the viewers had sent in, which is really good to see. That was before, and then here's after. And then the beautiful sunset, like sun rising this morning at the courthouse. I am aware that using facts against opinion isn't popular. I'm happy to just listen. Well, I mean, we're using facts too, but we're talking about all the facts, and then I'm giving my opinion. Your opinion is obviously a certain way, or you wouldn't be kind of fussing about it with people, but we're all just discussing facts and opinions, what's happening in court, and then I like to give how I feel about it. But I am big enough to say that how I feel about it is my opinion, and it doesn't really matter. But that's why I do this, because I like talking to you guys about all this stuff. That's the fun part of it for me. Yeah, as long as they're respectful. Absolutely, sure. And she ordered a pizza. Barry's plea was only 25 seconds long after 26 years of marriage. That statement hit me hard. And see, this is the thing. If Barry hadn't been arrested, there's obviously things that point to him doing this to Suzanne, okay? Or he wouldn't be arrested, you know what I mean? And before someone's arrested or named as a suspect, I like to be a lot more careful, but it is what it is. That's crazy, Hannah. Now they're coming up, so I mean, it's hard to, but like, if you've ever seen what it looks like when somebody claws somebody, like not just one but several in a row, I don't know. There's not many things that could make that. You know what I mean? What if a new tranquilizer gun was one of the things he threw away in the 5 trash cans? Hoping for more facts today. It was Tyson who did. Did you happen to see his video? It's your channel, and I appreciate your presentation. Thank you, Alley Cat. Did I hear Barry was shooting chipmunks? They were saying, yeah, but I don't like what I had heard was that they were having an issue with squirrels, I believe. Um, yeah. I'm going to give you all the facts and then I'm going to give you my opinion. That's just what it is. Okay. New witness 51 seconds ago. Oh, wow. This guy sounds familiar. CBI agent Kevin Kovac, field agent in Pueblo for 7 years. DA Linda Stanley is now asking him questions about Barry Morphew employee Morgan Gentile. This was the girl who worked with him actually when he was at the hotel, that job there. And if you guys remember, there was tons of speculation that she was having an affair with Barry and all this crazy stuff. None of that was true. She was just an employee. And there's also been, I could see this getting pretty dirty with the defense and stuff. So let's just see what happens. But there was quite a lot of accusations and stuff happening at the time. Oh my gosh, Casey Jakes, that's awful. Okay. Kevin Kovac. Nothing from Ashley Franco. Oh, we did miss one from her, though, 5 minutes ago. Prosecution goes back to the cuts Barry Morphew had on his left arm under his shoulder. Undersheriff said when asked, Barry told investigators he got the cuts from a tree when he was looking for Suzanne. Sure, I completely agree with that. I live in the woods too, and it's beautiful. It's so awesome. But I mean, if there's animals who are carrying like a specific disease or whatever, I could see that. Exactly, Mary. That is exactly what I was thinking. And yes, Maglove, he was very much involved in the Watts case, which is crazy. All these cases happening like in this one. And then, the police officer for Colorado Springs was the one who just testified. And then we're going to be coming into Gannon Stout's case. And all these are like, it's crazy how they're all kind of intertwined. Nothing from Ashley Franco. Hey, Bella. They had a cleaning lady. Wonder when and if she ever noticed the door damage. It's interesting. But like Mexi had pointed out when I was over there on Saturday on his Patreon, a lot of the people that are in these crimes that we always, these big crimes that are like big news, Chris Watts, Patrick Frazee, Gannon Stout, Barry Morphew, a lot of these people, all of them, I'm pretty sure, moved from other states. Oh my gosh, Casey Jakes, that is crazy. Well, it's awesome that they made it work, but wow, that's a wild story because most people could not make it through that kind of stuff, which a lot do, and that's awesome. Okay. Nothing from Lauren since the comment introducing Morgan into the scene. Nothing from Ashley. So we're kind of just standing still for a minute, you guys. I'll do a Twitter search for Barry Morphew and just see if anything comes up that I'm missing. Some say it's the water, some say it's the air. I did not see that Mystic Firefly, but 14 seconds, wow, that's crazy. Dustin just told me today that everything the Draper boys created has been submitted to the FBI. So they were instrumental in gathering info. Wow, that's awesome. That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of times, YouTubers and podcasts, and they actually can make a huge difference in these cases. A lot of cases get solved because of it, or, you know, maybe they don't get solved, but they might make progress. It's awesome. Okay. Lauren Scharf says Barry Morphew was supposed to pick Morgan Gentile up on Sunday night at 5:30 p.m., but didn't, and called her around 11 a.m. to ask her to bring another worker to Broomfield. Morgan Gentile stayed in room 228. Jeff Puckett stayed in room 225, which was the room Barry stayed in. The judge is asking if the room had been cleaned before Puckett arrived. The investigator didn't know. Now, this is the room, you guys remember, smelled very heavily like chlorine, wet towels all over the floor, and insurance papers in the trash. Oh my gosh, she found out from a psychic, Casey? That's crazy. I remember that, but I can't remember which animal. Something small like a squirrel. I've had squirrel gravy. And it was okay. I mean, the gravy was okay. I couldn't eat the meat. It kind of did taste like chicken though. But I was cheated on after 20 years of being together since we were 15 years old. Relationships are up or down like a roller coaster. If you want it to work, you make it work. Never any abuse, but it's been hard. Aw, Bella. Well, if you love somebody, you make it work. There's a difference too. You have, serial cheaters who won't stop, and then you have people who make like a single mistake, you know. That's so cool, Mystic Firefly. I grew up, watching my brothers and uncles deer hunt and skin the deer, and we'd have like a whole garage with like 8 deer all hanging upside down in there, and pretty cool. I'm here, Woofy. I always thought the wet towels on the floor could have just been Barry Morphy being sloppy after the shower, unless there were multiple wet towels. I did hear there were several towels. I didn't find out until I discovered my ex-husband was cheating. Oh, and then your mom talked to you about it to let you know that you weren't alone. Okay. Excuse me, you guys. Ashley Franco. The prosecution calls Kevin Kobach a CBI field agent in the Pueblo regional office. He interviewed a coworker of Barry Morphew. Coworker told them on May 10th she and another coworker were going to a hotel in Broomfield. The other coworker was set to stay in Barry's room. The coworker says she walked into the room Barry Morphew was staying in, and it smelled strongly of chlorine. There were wet towels and they found insurance documents under the pillow. It's not clear if the room was cleaned by a hotel before the other workers stayed. Well, have a good night, Christine. Thank you for hanging out with us today. Wait, where is... I thought... he killed and sold the pelt. Oh my gosh. Unless maybe a hunting dog. Yeah. I agree. Okay. Broomfield Holiday Inn. This is from Lauren Sharp 1 minute ago. She had told the investigators when they opened the door to room 225 they were overcome by the smell, saw wet towels on the floor in the bathroom, and also an insurance document under a pillow that had been trashed. So was it under the pillow and they put it in the trash? That's confusing. Morgan Gentile had told investigators that Barry Morphew was the first boss that respected her. She said that she heard Barry's truck around 4 a.m. Sunday morning, and it was not a surprise to her that he left her. Huh. That is a really awkward sentence. Yeah, a lot of these are, and sometimes it's hard to read because I'm sure they're tweeting quickly, trying to hear what's happening while they're tweeting, but sometimes they're adding commas where they don't go, or, they're not, I don't know. It's just hard to read sometimes, so just bear with me. We'll figure it out. It's odd to hear that there is a bounty on specific animals. There's it's kind of like that where my mom's at, like coyotes. There's a couple animals that there's just so many of them that they do that. Hey, Lil Mama, you haven't really missed a lot. They did discuss some injuries on Barry's arm. They discussed a misunderstanding with it being called a dart, like cap, and actually the sheath that the needle goes in, that you load the dart with the poison. Nothing huge. We're now Morgan Gentile's on the stand. I would love to see this be able to watch this, but she's on the stand and they're discussing the hotel room that smelled like bleach and all of that stuff. Okay, Barry Morphew called Morgan at 11:18 a.m. May 10th, asking her to get another worker and giving her details about the job, making sure that there was enough material to do the job in Broomfield. Barry didn't mention why he left her in Chaffee County. No, but she's actually in North Carolina. Oh my gosh, Lucy Pearl Tops, that is crazy. But at least you never have any dangerous interactions with them. I actually saw on ID channel a young lady who was killed by coyotes. Yes, Alley Cattails. Morgan is on the stand right now, which, oh, this would be like some of the best testimony to watch. This has been one of my biggest, like, what I'm most curious about. So, okay. At 6:09 p.m., Barry Morphew called Morgan Gentile, saying that he needed to return to Salida for a family emergency, but did not mention Suzanne was missing. What? Okay, I know I shouldn't be giving my opinion, but I mean, it just seems to me that he was like trying to have an alibi. And the last thing he wanted was for Morgan and that other guy, who I can't think of his name right now, to be witnesses. Coyotes seem to be pretty scared of us unless they're threatened or they're young. They mind their own business. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. I always picture them like, I don't know, attacking the kids or something. They terrify me. Maybe it's that ID show that I watched. For the prelims, crazy. Okay. A little while ago, wait, hold on. We have a new one. Ashley Franco, 1 minute ago, says this coworker was confronted about her relationship with Barry Morphew and asked if they had an affair. The coworker said she respected Barry as a boss and that he never did anything to make her feel uncomfortable. Oh, no, maybe she's not. Maybe I'm wrong. I was thinking she was on there, but Mystic Firefly, you may be right. I think, Kevin Kovac is on there as of 11 minutes ago. So they're discussing Morgan's testimony. I guess he's discussing what she told him. Hold on. Dang, that would have been great. But I bet you she is one. She will be called. Maybe not here, but in the actual trial. Redirect happening. Calls Kevin Kovac. He interviewed a coworker. Yeah. So yeah. I'm sorry about that. We're live and I got excited, y'all. I feed the coyotes at the steel mill and their buddies. That's crazy. You should get some pictures of them. Okay, at 7:30. This is Lauren Sharp at 1 minute ago. At 7:30 a.m. on May 11th, Barry Morphew called Morgan Gentile, referencing that Suzanne was missing, and talked about a mountain lion. Then immediately turned his attention to the job in Broomfield. I felt so bad for her when like social media found out of her existence, because everybody was just thinking the absolute worst about her. And then she was, blamed for having this affair and all of this. And then, then she was called a druggie and all. I don't know. It was awful. Barry was supposed to pick Morgan up on Sunday night at 5:30, but didn't, and called her around 11 to ask her to bring another worker to Broomfield. Exactly. Okay. This is Lauren Scharf, 1 minute ago, on May 15th, CBI agents questioned Morgan Gentile about her relationship with Barry Morphew. She was confronted about being called a mistress. Gentile is concerned about what is being said on social media, her safety, and her children's safety. I feel the same way about them and the trash pandas. They are really beautiful creatures. What's a trash panda? Don't know what that is. Thank you, Mystic Firefly, for straightening that up, because that would have been awful. Okay, 7 seconds ago, defense from Ashley Franco at KKTV. Defense says Barry Morphew called his coworker crying, saying that his wife was missing and that they found her bike and he believed it was a mountain lion. The defense corrected that. Let's see how Lauren words that. At 7:30, Barry called Morgan Gentile, referencing that Suzanne was missing, and talked about a mountain lion, then immediately turned his attention to the job in Broomfield. And then the defense says he called crying and he was concerned and believed it could have been a mountain lion. So that's kind of how that. Oh, okay. Duh, that makes sense. Oh my gosh, we have raccoons like crazy here. They are not even scared of humans. The other day, I had both the little kids out in the yard, and I got these big, what do you call them? Canvases, and had acrylic paints and all kinds of different colors, and was kind of letting them go wild. And I figured I could use it to decorate after. But we were just sitting there, I'm watching them, and this raccoon walks right past us, gets up on the porch where the kittens are, and not scared of anybody. He basically, I wouldn't have been surprised if he would have thrown his paw up and been like, "What's up?" and just like went and started eating the cat food, and then picked up the cat bowl, and he was like, not letting, he dumped all the food out of it, but he wouldn't let the bowl go, and he carried it for a little while and then dropped it. But yeah, they're crazy around here. Okay. Lauren Scharf, 1 minute ago. After further investigation, it was confirmed that Morgan Gentile did not have an affair with Barry Morphew. She described Barry as not an emotional guy, and he called Gentile crying Monday morning. Quote, "My wife is missing. We found the bike. It's got to be a mountain lion or a cougar," unquote. I was thinking that, May Glove. I'm like, oh my gosh, what if they get in a fight with the kittens or something? I love raccoons, but I've never had a chance encounter. Oh my gosh. One time I was sitting there, like in the living room at my house at like 2 a.m. And I have a camera on my door and I can see on my phone. And I started hearing something out there and pulled out my phone and I couldn't see anything. So I had, because they were in like a blind spot of the camera. "Hey, Will." And I peeked my head out of the door and there was like little baby raccoons. I only saw two, but there was enough noise. I would have thought there was a million, but they were little babies out there eating. So they must have grown up and be the ones that are torturing us now. One time when I was pregnant, we were driving down the road and I wasn't driving. My son's dad was driving, and we ran into a bunch of babies like in the middle. It was a back road. So they were like right in the middle of this trail that goes into the road. And anyways, we stopped and got the babies, and you know that we saved one of them, and he's that little raccoon is still alive. Sometimes we see it in behind my niece's house where we put it. But yeah, I didn't touch it because I was pregnant. I didn't get anywhere near it. So they saved it, like my son's dad and his family. I'm still waiting to glimpse the elusive mountain line. I grew up deep in the redwoods in the Santa Cruz Mountains, and wow, they rarely come into civilization nowadays. We have them here. I don't know if they're mountain lions, or I don't know. They're wildcats. Um, yeah, because my dad has a stuffed one that his friend killed, like not far from here. Yeah, he was determined to push the mountain lion theory. Okay. Um, 1 minute ago, Lauren Sharf says E said Barry Morphew didn't tell the front desk to get 2 clean rooms for his workers, and he didn't tell his workers not to come. Morgan Gentile and Jeff Puckett came to the hotel Sunday night. Puckett found the insurance document under a pillow and ended up in the trash. Agent Kobach says he hasn't read the affidavit. He knows what Morgan Gentile said, but not of Jeff Puckett. Oh, thank you, Cheryl. I appreciate you guys for being here. It's fun for me, and I'm thankful I don't have a babysitter, because it's hard with a little one. Like the last time I did this, I was chasing Bentley around. Today, I'm kind of just able to chill. Wouldn't it be so cool to go to one of these hearings in person? I just think that would be so cool. He hasn't read it. Weird, right? Let me go back and read that again. Yeah, school just started here, Mystic Firefly. Bentley's just not quite old enough yet, but yes, I usually have my niece too, and she's in kindergarten, so. Mhm. Thank God Bentley's not old enough. I'm so sad for him to go to school. I said this earlier, but it's my last day being 31, and my baby's about to go to school. Where is time going? Okay. Mm-mm-mm. Okay. I'm going to reread that one right above. So, oh yeah, he hasn't read the affidavit. That is weird. Puckett found the insurance document under a pillow that ended up in the trash. Agent Kobach said he hasn't read the affidavit. He knows what Morgan Gentile said, but not of Jeff Puckett. CBI sent an email to the hotel on May 12th to preserve all surveillance videos. They picked up the thumb drive. Agents also got the logs of who was coming and going into the hotel. Agent Kobach doesn't have information if the hotel room was swabbed for Suzanne Morphew's DNA. Yeah, that is odd. And you would think that if you're going to be testifying in a case or a trial, that before you would go and kind of read up, or you know what I mean? So yeah, that is odd. If Darlie Routier gets a new trial, I'm going to be there for that trial. That'd be awesome. I wish that I could travel to Colorado, because I would go for Gannon Stauch's trial, or Letitia Stauch's trial. You would think they would have swapped the room. No, she's not getting a new one. She just said if she did. You would think they would have swabbed the room for Suzanne's DNA too. You know what I mean? Because if there was a theory that maybe, I don't know, they have the cameras, so they know that she wasn't there. At least she didn't walk in there, but it's still. My hair's a little crazy right now. I got out of the shower and I never ever straighten my hair or anything, but I tried a new leave-in conditioner today. I would love Letitia Trial. I'm in Idaho. I could drive. I think I'd get arrested from my behavior towards her. You could go to Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell if you're in Idaho. Thank you guys, Wolfie and Char. I'm going to Virginia to watch part of the Johnny Depp civil case he filed against his ex-wife. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. I've actually watched a little bit about that. Let's see if that changed anything. No, not a ton, but I've watched some because I like some of the celebrity drama channels. Thank you guys. Yeah, Letitia is a piece of work. She's something else. 4 hours from me or I would go. We don't claim them. That's funny. Okay, let's see. Come on, people. Tweet. Oh, here we go. Ashley Franco from KKTV says the defense argues that the general manager from the hotel told CBI that the room Barry Morphew was staying in was right above the indoor pool, and that it and another room had a strong smell of chlorine from the pool. Defense argues that the general manager... What? Okay. That worries me. But from what I understood, they didn't use those kind of, like, the pool was closed because of COVID, and they weren't using those chemicals to clean the room. So I'd like to see what else comes out about that here in a second. I told you. Whatever. Okay, Lauren Sharf says another CBI agent went back to the hotel on September 1st of 2020 to take photographs after media attention about the chlorine smell in Barry Morphew's room. The defense attorney, found an email from the hotel manager saying that room is above the pool area and still smells like chlorine 4 months later. Well, you're probably right there, Will, and yeah, it is what it is. They did say they didn't use those chemicals, but I believe they were talking about, like, as far as cleaning the rooms, they don't use those kind of chemicals. They were using something else. Sure are a lot of convenient coincidences. Okay. Former FBI agent Johnny Grusing is called back to the stand. 28 seconds ago. Is that what they're going to talk about? I wonder, the chlorine, or there's a couple things there that they could be bringing him back for. Let's see. Didn't law enforcement say his house reeked of Clorox too? I do believe that they said it smelled like cleaning. I don't know though, because there's a couple places that's happened with that. I know for a fact that they've said that with, that I could be getting confused. If somebody knows that's in here, there you go, Mystic Firefly. Yes, they did. I'm not saying he didn't do it. I'm just saying the chlorine smell is a weak path to explore. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that I think it's good to have like pushback, because if not, then you're going to have a weak argument. You need to have really explore it all. Thank you for reading the tweets. It made my day more productive because I didn't have to have my eyes glued to the phone. Oh, you're so welcome. Landscaping workers are very honest. This will do Barry in. Just about time for me to go pay the bills. I won't be chatting so much, but I will be listening on and off. Thanks again. Oh, thank you for being here, Lucy Pearl Tops. Kim, yeah. You're right. Bleach is the most identifiable cleaner that smells so strong. I don't know. I guess maybe I expected they would have more evidence. And they might. I mean, I'm sure they do, but his lawyers are pretty good, and I don't think that, it would be like a huge surprise if they got him off for it. I mean, when you have a lot of money and you have really good attorneys, the evidence is overwhelming. Shocked, really. It's kind of sad, really. Okay. Nothing new so far, you guys. I'm going to take this phone outside and go smoke a cigarette. When they interview the people from the hotel room, they said don't use bleach to clean the rooms and the pool. Did forensics go to the hotel room, or did they leave it all a bit late? Well, they didn't check the hotel for Suzanne's DNA. And, yeah, he might get off if all the prosecution has is circumstantial. All his lawyers have to do is create doubt in one juror. Yeah. It's scary and it's sad. Shit, I forgot my lighter. I mean, we still do have like a day and a half, so maybe not. Okay. All this evidence being debunked and no body. I don't see this going to trial. He went to 5 garbage cans and doesn't remember what he had in his hands. Who's covered the case in the comments on this video? Yeah, go ahead, Mary. That's okay. You can put it in the stream. You can put any creator in here that you think did a good job on the case. I don't care. Can somebody put Will's channel in here too? He's covered it and he's in here. Oh, I forgot. I think Shar did that already, actually. Okay, Exhibit 96 and 97. Photos of the chipmunk gun. Quote, chipmunk gun, unquote. The barrel is 7.5 inches long. Barry Morphew handed the gun to Agent Grusing through the window of his vehicle. Thank you, Shar, so much. So much. I so appreciate you guys, the mods in here and stuff. You, like, I don't know. Just appreciate the help a lot. I forgot that you had done that already too, Shar. Oh, thank you, Mary. Okay. I wonder how they know that he was dumping trash at the locations that had no surveillance. I'm guessing his GPS. Because there was a couple that they didn't have on video, so that's odd. Ashley Franco said Agent Grusing is back on the stand, which we had already heard that from Lauren 7 minutes ago. Lauren's on top of things. Thank you, Shar. This will go to trial and a guilty verdict. I was just on jury duty 2 months ago, and it's all about guilty verdicts. 95% yes, 95%. Oh, thank you, Will. That's so nice. You're easily one of my favorites, too. Always making us realize when we're taking things a little too far. Okay. So nothing so far. We did hear about a lot today. I mean, he has scratch marks on his arm that resemble like how fingers would scratch someone. So that's, that's kind of damning and pretty interesting right there. I don't know. It's hard not to let it get you down though when you care, like, and you want, I don't know, when you want justice and you care about the situation. Okay, the state is asking Agent Grusing when he interviewed Barry Morphew. Barry sat up in his chair and crossed his arms. Agent Grusing was called to help investigate Barry. The state is asking about Grusing's strategy about interviewing Barry. Oh, thank you, Apple Bottom Jeans. Thank you, guys. You and Will, you guys are awesome. Thank you. Okay. That is so funny. He sat up in his chair and crossed his arms. I can just like picture him in my head, his attitude. But I don't know. Never mind. I'm not going to say that. Barry's embarrassed and helpers so much spent on his. Oh, I see one. Okay. This was about 30 minutes ago. Carol McKinley, she hasn't really been like updating as it go like the others, so I hadn't been checking as much, but she says the defense attorney suggests that just because Suzanne Morphew's ID was in her purse doesn't mean she didn't pull a quote gone girl unquote. Ayton. Suzanne was unhappy in her marriage. She wanted to leave. Roderick. Yes. I.e., when people want to disappear, they don't use their identity, do they? So I don't know if those are quotes there or what, but it seems like it. Yeah. She just quoted the title of Gone Girl. I was on Dirty Duty last week. I was the one. I just don't see that, and I don't like when, like, Suzanne Morphy's dad died since she's been gone. You know, she has 2 children who are graduating high school and going through this really important time in their lives. And all she ever wanted was to be a mom. She had an extremely hard time getting pregnant, didn't think she was going to be able to get pregnant. And she hasn't contacted her boyfriend. You know, they have all of his electronics and stuff, so they would obviously know that. Okay. Barry Morphew, this is from Lauren Sharf 1 minute ago. Barry Morphew told CBI on May 13th interview, "We had steak and sex on May 9th. Best night, and there were no chemicals in Suzanne, so they had a good night." What? That's a quote. "We had steak and sex on May 9th. The best night, and there were no chemicals in Suzanne, so they had a good night." What? Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, ooh, gross. Prosecutors ask, this is from Ashley at KKTV. Prosecutors ask about messages Barry Morphew deleted from his phone. He allegedly told investigators he did that to hide them from his daughters. They also say he talked about Suzanne Morphew in the past tense. Yeah, chemicals. Oh, thanks, Mark. I love kids, but I don't think I could do that. Like, the only thing I could ever think that I wanted to be when I grew up was like a journalist or maybe some kind of counselor. Are you copying me, Woofy? Hold on. That is a good reason to delete them from his phone. Like, if I don't believe that, but if he was going to have any excuse, I mean, to hide it from the daughters. Suzanne's good friend said that Suzanne and Barry hadn't had a good night in a long time. That is the truth. I wanted to be a geologist for the longest time. I'm going to get that tweet that I just read, the gross one, and screenshot it and bring it up so you guys can see it. But we have another one. So CBI, this is Lauren Sharf under that same thread about no chemicals in Suzanne. CBI noted that Barry Morphew used past tense when speaking about Suzanne Morphew. "I just wished you knew her, how amazing she was." He told investigators what she was last wearing: white shorts and a string-type shirt. Okay, I have to mute for 1 second, you guys. Oh, thank you, Robbie. Thank you, guys that have given super stickers and stuff like that. Thank you so much. It means the world to me. It's sweet, and you don't ever have to, so don't feel like you know, I don't know. It's weird. Like, how to react. I'm not good with that stuff at all, but thank you so much. Hold on 1 sec. Let me mute to upload these screenshots. Oh my gosh, y'all, there is a hornet on my screen right now. I don't know what to do. I'm going to flick it, I guess. Pray for me. There. Okay. Barry Morphew told CBI on May 13th interview. We had steak, and there it is. You guys can see. Because that's odd, an odd statement. Thank you, Cheryl. I love you so much. Thank you, Mark. That's sweet. I know, Robbie. When I send them, I always try to like go through and pick a good one but yeah, they are kind of silly. I don't think Barry Morphew was capable of making love. It was probably just sex. I did see a comment I don't like missing any of them, you guys. I was on jury duty last week. I was the only one who wanted guilty on a R charge. The guy admitted it on video. Oh my gosh. Okay, don't loving husbands talk about making love rather than having sex? A close second to this thing. I don't know. I think men are just a little bit different than us. Us women. Oh, Shar, thank you. I should be sending you super chats and all the other mods for helping me and being here all day. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And thank you. Plus, it's late where you're at. Okay, let's see if... Okay, Lauren Sharf says, in an interview with Agent Grusing on June 2nd in the backyard of the Cushmans, Barry Morphew mentioned that Suzanne was abusing drugs and alcohol. The last time she was doing well was the summer of 2018. Barry Morphew was also asked by Grusing what was the last image of Suzanne Morphew, and Barry didn't answer 3 times. Grusing then asked, did you see a lump in the covers? Barry answered, probably just the lump there. Saw her breathing. Yeah, that was weird. Aw, Cheryl, you're so sweet. Thank you. You guys being in my life is enough payment. Barry wanted Suzanne to stop taking certain medications. That's interesting, yeah. It said that she was abusing drugs and alcohol, and the last time she was doing well was the summer of 2018. I'm going to try to screenshot that too, just so you guys can see, and then I'll go and see if anybody else has posted. Because I found a way to upload them a little bit easier. Okay. So caveman sounding bear. There we go. He didn't even want her smoking pot, even for medicinal purposes. Yeah, that's just so controlling. Like, I'm sorry, but if somebody needs antidepressants or they want, or things like that, I don't know. Just stop trying to be that controlling where you tell them what you want and don't want them to do. When somebody knows, what they need. She's a cancer survivor. He meant medications of some sort. Yeah, I would say you're right there. Okay. 36 seconds ago, Ashley Franco from KKTV says Barry Morphew allegedly came up with an alternate suspect when being questioned by investigators. He said Suzanne Morphew was buying drugs from CBD Tim, and he should be a suspect. And she said that Barry Morphew told investigators he and Suzanne went for a hike the night of May 9th after dinner. That's what that psychic said. That's crazy. Psychic Reverend Donna Serafina said they went out to lunch or dinner, and then they went on a walk through the woods, like a hike. She wouldn't have known that because that's the first time I've heard of it. CBD Tim should be a suspect. Dude, CBD is not a drug. Oh my Lord, have mercy. Okay, Lauren Scharf, 1 minute ago. I'm going to take that off there. Gruesing asked Barry Morphew if he remembered what he did in Broomfield. The agent said Barry could only remember going to the job site, McDonald's, and the hotel. He never said anything about Men's Warehouse and the RTD bus stop. Then she said Barry Morphew said that as soon as the girls left for their road trip, that Suzanne Morphew's mood got worse and she started drinking. As soon as the girls left. So the girls wouldn't know about it. I mean, which it's possible her mood got worse as soon as they left. We know that she wasn't wanting to be in this relationship at all. And the only reason that she was for the kids, you know? The poor lady had cancer and this idiot was calling her a drunk and a druggie. Yeah. Chemo, you have to have something. It's crazy. I bet he took and drank whatever he wanted. Unbelievable. Mark Klein, he has plenty of money. He got Suzanne $600,000 inheritance plus. There is Donna's channel, and she has some videos on the case you could go check out if you're interested. Thank you, Shar. You are so awesome. Really awesome. Thank you. Can't you buy CBD at a store? Yeah, you buy it at the gas station or wherever. It's everywhere now. It's even in the Food Line checkouts. And no, there is nothing wrong with it. It doesn't even, you can't even tell, like, it's not psychoactive, which means it doesn't make you feel any way, like, mentally. Suzanne is no saint for cheating with a man with 6 kids, but Barry lost it and did the worst of the worst. Barry is a bully and a show-off. Okay, let's see. Okay, Agent Gruesing asked Barry Morphew about the suicide text after Suzanne Morphew had sent a text saying, "I'm done." Barry told Gruesing, "I was just trying to hurt her. That is all I was doing." So he threatened suicide to Suzanne when she said she was done. And it was just to hurt her. He wasn't ever going to do it because the men who do that are not ever usually going to. They're just trying to hurt you. That drives me crazy, y'all. Let's see. Ashley Franco also talks about the alternate suspect. When being questioned by investigators, he said Suzanne was buying drugs from CBD Tim and he should be a suspect. Crime Talk says Barry told Gruesing in an interview that Suzanne was perfectly fine because she had no alcohol in her. As Gruesing says this, Barry whispers a few words in his defense attorney's ear. This was on Saturday night of May 10th. He's just trying to trash her character, blame the victim. That's exactly what they're doing. Aren't they in court again tomorrow? Yeah, they are. They sure are. Nothing, yeah, no. Nothing new. I do know this person named X Persons of Interest tweets a lot about some of this. And they said because she had cancer, that's why she wasn't doing well since 2018. She was miserable in the marriage. Antidepressants are not abusing drugs. I'd drink too if I was married to Barry. That's really the only person that I've seen. Well, Allie says Barry Morphew told Agent Gruesing repeatedly that Suzanne abused drugs and alcohol in each and every interview, and that on May 9th she didn't have any drugs and alcohol in her. They had steak and sex, and it was a perfect night. Seriously, eye roll emoji. Yeah, if she did drugs so often, how did she have no drugs or alcohol in her that day? That just makes no sense to me at all. Especially her kids were leaving. You'd think she'd have more that day. And when you're using drugs and alcohol, like abusing it, you're doing it daily. Especially like after a long time. It's just rare to go days without it. That's in my opinion, but maybe I'm wrong. Mary, I don't know. It depends, I guess. Tomorrow's my birthday, so I don't know. Maybe. It's fun for me, so it's possible, but okay, we have a new tweet. I don't know. We will see. I thought that's what you meant, Hannah. That's okay. Okay. So the last one that Lauren had was Agent Gruesing asked Barry Morphew about the suicide text. After Suzanne sent a text saying, "I'm done," Barry said, "I was just trying to hurt her. That's all I was doing." Then Lauren says, FBI agents asked Barry Morphew about the affair. He claims he wasn't aware of Suzanne Morphew and Jeff Libler's affair. Barry told the investigator, doesn't understand why, quote, okay, this is a quote, doesn't understand why God would take away my wife. Maybe in God's eye, this is the way of him resolving something, unquote. Lord have mercy. Yeah, he did. He said she had drunk eyes. You're right, Katie. It's just a twisted, tangled mess. If she was using, they would show up in her system. Barry's lying through his teeth. No way she was using illegal drugs. Chris wants a 111-minute phone call, and Barry's 5 garbage dumps and can't remember a thing. That's pretty funny. Remember that Barry walked in on Suzanne chatting with Jeff on the 9th, and then we see he was chasing her around the house, killing chipmunks, so now they had the best sex. I hope they find her, and I hope they can determine if she had drugs and alcohol in her system. I hope they do a hair follicle and see what she did. I believe he's going to turn out to be a liar. I agree. And, I mean, it's possible, like, well, hold on. Here's a new tweet. It's possible, I was going to say, it's possible she's on antidepressants or some kind of medications like that from her doctor. But, okay. Exhibit, I can't believe he said, quote, doesn't understand why God would take away my wife. Maybe in God's eye, this is the way of him resolving something. Exhibit 59, proof of life of Susan Morphew sunbathing. Agent Gruesing said that she sent the photo to her lover, and Barry Morphew responded, well, obviously she's drunk. Look at her eyes. She has drunk eyes. Do you know what drunk eyes look like? That was what his quote. Well, obviously she's drunk. Look at her eyes. She has drunk eyes. Do you know what drunk eyes look like? And then recess for 15 minutes. Oh my God, so we have another suspect now. I'm going to upload this and then I'm going to go pee and I'll be right back. Well, I want to upload this so you can see the way that it's written out because, yeah, I just think that it's better to get a visual. And before I go pee, I'll check the other people really quickly. He who throws stones, Barry is a peach. Okay. So this is exactly how it's written. You guys take a look at that. I'm going to look for other updates quickly and then I'll be right back. Ashley Franco did say that this was one I didn't read, but it just says that he told investigators they went for a hike the night of May 9th. Okay, that's it, you guys. I don't think anybody saw my message before. Do you know if they searched that job site where the lady said that the equipment was being used in the middle of the night? Yes, they did, actually. They did. They even removed concrete over there. I don't know, like, to what extent, if they did it everywhere, but, and you guys in the chat know more than I do, but I do know, I'm pretty sure they were digging in the concrete there. They didn't search a couple other places, but that they should have, maybe because they weren't given permission by the property owners or whatever. But even if his lawyers find a juror to believe him, he can't help himself. He has to other down continuously. You like my Barrymore review? Okay, I'm gonna take this in. Bring Suzanne down continuously. Yeah, he really is doing that. I mean, seriously, in my opinion. Okay. Okay, I'm back. I went and got me a pop, a Sour Patch Kids Jello, and a Wimpy. And I am so with you guys about that beach area. There's just an issue there. If you look and see like what that wall looked like before and after, which of course it's going to change, but there was areas that, I don't know, I'll see if I can find it. And you guys, if you're interested, try to find photos of the before and after at that beach. And yeah, he described her as a lump, which, in all fairness, that cop did kind of push that, I feel, because he's like, what, you didn't see anything, even a lump in the bed? The red Sour Patch Kids Jellos are everything, you guys. They are so good. I don't think it's been long enough, though, that... Cheryl, I think that you're right, and especially in specific areas and stuff. They're kind of new, Char. Here, let me see. I'll show you for a second. So we're 8 minutes into our 15-minute break. Actually, it was a syringe cap that had 2 people's DNA on it. Neither was Barry's. What I had seen said that it was the sheath of the syringe, whatever that is. But yeah. And 2 people's DNA on it. Neither was Barry's. Mark, I agree with you. Mr. Tomato Head, you know what though? Like, does it matter? Like, if Barry isn't the one who used the stuff on her, who else would? You know what I mean? So, wonder if those DNA matches 3 of the ones in Suzanne's glove compartment. And wasn't there some DNA on her? His was on the bicycle seat, but I believe there was also DNA on the bike of someone else's. That's what I was thinking, Mary. That it went through the washer and dryer. I don't know. Hillary would have inoculated her. Okay, I'm back. I'm going to show you these Jellos. See? They're not that sour, but they're just really good. I'm a sour candy like freak. I love sour candy. My hair's all crazy. Only the construction managers had access to equipment. Yeah, she did hear it in the middle of the night, which is weird, but they searched there some. I just don't know if they searched like down by the beach or only in the concrete or... Oh, okay. And people were saying that sometimes she was the other woman after they did that to Morgan. You call it Jello, I call it jelly. Yeah. A lot of this stuff happens a while ago, and you kind of get fuzzy headed on it, and some of it I just didn't know. But I'm always looking into like 20 different cases at one time, and it's can get a little bit confusing sometimes. It's just that there's so many out there that need attention. And I'm so thankful that Summer Wells has gotten all the attention that she's gotten. But there's so many other cases that really need attention too. That's funny you call it jelly. Sour Patch Kids jelly. We call jelly like the stuff that you put on your toast, like kind of like preserves, but without the fruit. What? That doesn't sound good to you, Cheryl? Sour jello? I'm done with it now. My kids don't like it. That's why I have it. by the way. Jam, we call it. We call it that too sometimes. Annalise, yeah, there is. I don't know if it's been always that way or we're just noticing it, but even like missing kids, I don't know, there's so much awful stuff that happens every single day. The reason I have those jellos, if I didn't finish my sentence, is because my kids love jello, and I got those because they also love sour stuff, but they don't like those. The texture is a little bit different than regular jello, but it doesn't bother me, but they're picky. You want me to go back to that picture? While we're on break, I'll go through a couple. So this is Kendrick Johnson and his mom. You can see my hands underneath, sorry. Kendrick Johnson and his mom. Kendrick was found in a wrestling mat upside down. Actually, just like that's him right there. And that's his dad trying to show that you couldn't fall down in it. At first, it was said it was an accident, that he went after some shoes. And now they've opened the case back up, but it's a cover-up. Then we have Charles Vallow and JJ when he was little, and Tammy Daybell and JJ and Tylee. And they have lots of attention, there's plenty of attention on that case, but still good to talk about it. There's even more people than that involved, and that's the little chart I did with all the people involved. There's Barry Morphew. During the search for Suzanne, he went and laid down like that, which the people that were searching with him found it odd and snapped a photo. And then there's Suzanne and her daughter. And then this is the red truck that still needs to be located in Summer Wells's case. And there she is, pretty baby. And then Bianca Devins, that's one that I'm covering now. I have a video I did with True Crime Analyst and Bianca's mom on my channel. Bianca was killed by a guy who had a crush on her, and he took photos of her after and posted them everywhere. And there's a petition that needs signed for her Bianca's Law, which is in the description of that video. But let me check. I think we're at 15 minutes exactly. I figured, why not go through some of these cases that don't get as much attention? Some of them do, but there's so many cases that happen all the time that never get talked about. And even if you do talk about them, there's not a lot of people interested in them. But if you could get just a few more eyes on it, that's really all that matters. Jello and jam goes on bread. Look at how much his daughter looks like her there. Strawberry jam on toast. Yum. I live near Delphi, Indiana, 4.5 years and still nothing. There's another one. Yeah, that is frustrating. It seems like there's times when that case is heated up a little bit, but I don't know. And also his organs were all removed, exactly, and some were packed back into his body cavity. I have a video on it, and there's even there's people who have come forward and confessed or said that people confessed to them, and then all of a sudden they get locked up in the psych unit at the jail or different things. So yeah, he was clearly tired from all that great sex. I've never even heard of Bianca. Oh my gosh. I have a 3-minute video on here that goes through her case, and then I have a video of the sentencing, the family addressing the man who did it, and then his response. He kind of says a few things. It is, oh my gosh, that case is so important to have heard, because her mom is trying to change the laws and make it, because those photos are still up on Google. You can do a reverse search and see where any photo is, right, on the internet, a reverse photo search. But Google has not taken down the photos of Bianca. And her mom's trying to make sure that, social media companies are more held more accountable, like held accountable more for those kind of things, and also other things, just any kind of, whether it's, what do you call that, revenge porn or whatever. Where was the helmet found again, and what day? I have a picture of that. They probably call jelly jello because of the gelatin that's put in it. And I bet you they're back now, and I'll look for that while I show you the picture. That was where the personal item, which would be the helmet. Thank you, Shar. That is a petition. Oh, thank you so much, for Bianca. So please, if anybody has even an extra minute, please go sign that. It is so important. It actually will make change. And that is okay. We're back. 37 seconds ago, Barry Morphew's phone went into airplane mode from 2:47 p.m. until 10:17 p.m. on May 9th. The phone appears to be at the Morphew home from 10:17 p.m. until 3:25 a.m. the next day. No rocket mans, please. Well, Woofy, if you haven't signed Bianca's petition, that helps protect against things like revenge porn and other things like that. Hannah, I remember seeing that. I do. They did open it back. Okay. So his phone went into airplane mode from 2:47 until 10:17 p.m. on May 9th. The phone appears to be at the Morphew home from 10:17 p.m. until 3:25 a.m. the next day. And then it says, then she put left turn on Highway 50 the morning of May 10th. Barry Morphew turned left because he saw a bull elk. I figured you did, Woofy. But Mystic Firefly. I guess Barry was doing his wonderful horizontal shuffle. Suzanne now while on aeroplane mode. Thank you, Robbie. Thank you, thank you. The next one with Bianca's mom will be going over the case, which is exciting and nerve-wracking at the same time because it's so important. And yeah, with her mom on there. Ashley Franco is not back yet from break. Crime Talk isn't back yet, so just Lauren so far. Thank you, Woofy. Shar added it a second ago, but you can re-add it again as the chat goes so people don't have to go back to find it. Thank you so much. Come on, people, give us a tweet because I'm wondering. Let's see. Ooh, Carol McKinley, 9 minutes ago, said, there's been a lot of talk about Barry Morphew's Broomfield hotel room having an overwhelming smell of chlorine. Turns out the hotel manager wrote a letter saying that room 225 was over the pool. Prosecution notes during COVID, was the pool filled? No one knows. Now that's what I want to know, if the pool was filled, because if it wasn't, that changes things. But if no one knows, then come on, people. We want to know what's happening in there. I'm hopeful that they'll actually broadcast, the trial. And I do think they will. I'm back. I was trying to make sure you guys could see that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Lauren Sharp, 44 seconds ago, says, in an interview on March 5th, Barry Morphew told investigators that putting his phone on airplane mode was an accident if it happened. He is, Mark. He does look like he's lost some weight for sure. I had a pool, and it was advised to keep water in it to keep the liner in place. Okay, Cheryl. Won't it show on the CCTV if yeah, you would think so. That's a good thought. Missing from Rogersville, Tennessee, age 5, blonde hair, blue eyes. Yes. About Summer Wells. Thank you, Shar. I swear I have the best mods. I mean, truly, I'm so lucky. Thank you, guys. Okay. I have great eyes, but I think you have maybe. Aw, thank you. But I don't think so, Woofy. You have beautiful eyes. But that's sweet. Okay. Barry Morphew asked Agent Grusing if he could have immunity if he gave them his life up. Huh? That's what it says, though. Let's see. If he gave them his life up. According to investigators, Barry Morphew allegedly told investigators, "Can you give me immunity if I sit and open my life to you?" What? This is Ashley Franco. That is so weird. It's hot here. I have beautiful eyes too. Accident. I fell and accidentally got a girl pregnant. Thank God my ex-wife believed me. Y'all are crazy. Okay, let's see. If he gave them his life up, what does that mean? Like, gave them access to all the parts of his life? That's just so weird. Well, that's what a guilty person would say. Yeah. I mean, I think Barry means if he's honest, will he get immunity? Then my house was known as the Taj Mahal, and it was larger than an Olympic pool. Oh my gosh. What? That'd be awesome to have a pool that big. Bentley would love it. He loves to be out there swimming. Okay. 24 seconds ago, Agent Grusing asked Barry Morphew about the tranquilizer when it was last fired. Nielsen is wanting on the record that the state should be asking questions and Agent Grusing should be answering, not the other way around. Okay. See, you never know who we are in here. Yeah, that's true. That's crazy to think about, but is a survivor? Is the death penalty on the table? I think it actually is. They don't have the death penalty anymore in Colorado, but if the crime occurred before a specific date, which I'm thinking is June of last year, then yes. So. Hmm. I don't know, you guys. I feel like we still didn't get any like bombshell evidence, but they did do away with it, Danielle. Oh, thank you, Cheryl. So let AB know that I am not some 20-year-old skank. Well, I don't know. Like, I can't let AB know, but because I'm not sure. I know you guys said that they did those shows. Can you guys link their channel? Thankfully, Idaho has the death penalty for Chad and Lori. Absolutely. I will look that up for you guys real quick, but let's make sure we're not missing anything first. We got some pretty good stuff. Good. Well, I'm glad because I'm like, I don't know, I'm concerned a little bit. Okay. Colorado death penalty. They did do away with it, but there's a certain date. Yeah, on March 23rd of 2020, the governor repealed the state's death penalty. But I'm torn when it comes to the death penalty too. Shar, I don't know the name of the channel, but Mystic Firefly can link it if she wants to, because a lot of people seem to enjoy the channel, and they've covered Suzanne, and they've actually been searching like on the ground. They've been in town searching and stuff. I give up with this keyboard. Okay, let's see if I can get the information here. The state does have 3 death row prisoners right now. Okay, Colorado's new law applies to cases criminally charged on or after July 1st of 2020. So, Barry technically could get the death penalty. Hope we get to see the 3 scratch marks on the arm. I know, me too, Mr. Potato. Mr. Potato. I almost called you Mr. Potato Head. Mr. Tomato Head. I'm in Texas, if that tells you anything. Yeah, they like it there for sure. My friend AK who is searching. It's AB who called me a 20-year-old something. Oh, okay. You guys are awesome. I'm in Oklahoma. Where is everyone else from? And then I'll go check our Twitter. See if we've got any new Twitter twits. Okay. Tweets. Twitter tweets. Talk about divorce. Agent Cruz, we do. Lauren Sharf said 1 minute ago, talk about divorce. Agent Grusing and Barry Morphew would tell Suzanne Agent Grusing said Barry would tell Suzanne, quote, I'm not discussing this because it's never going to happen, unquote. The state said, quote, it never did, unquote. So the tranquilizer was last used in April. I missed one. Agent Grusing asked Barry Morphew about the tranquilizer when it was last fired. Nielsen is wanting on the record that the state should be asking questions and Grusing should be answering. Former FBI agent Grusing said Barry Morphew said it was last used in late April. And then we have the talk about divorce. Agent Grusing said, Barry said, I'm not discussing this because it's never going to happen. And the state said it never did. Mr. Potato Head is chatting. He said Twitter like a Texan. I'm surprised you don't really have an accent with you. Oh, Bella. Thank you. Ohio here. Massachusetts in the house. That was funny, Mr. Potato Head. What date was he actually charged? It was before that, but... Right? Let's see. That was of 2020. I believe he was charged on, like, Mother's Day. Wait, let me see. Let me read that again. Criminally charged on or after July 1st of 2020. Hey, Stephanie, I'm glad you're back. People always ask me if I was from up north. May 5th. Wait, so no, Barry can't because he was charged on Mother's Day, like around Mother's Day of this year. So the crime happened before the date, but he was charged after. You're right, and I'm sorry about that, Danielle. Thank you. I'm going to Tennessee to retire. Okay. Agent Grusing asked Barry Morphew about him ever being physical with Suzanne because one of the 50 grievances was just wrestled free. Barry said he never grabbed her or constricted her with his arms. She would brush up against her. April 22nd of 2021 interview with Barry Morphew, agent said, "You were the last person to see Suzanne Morphew alive," and Barry agreed. He was charged before the July date. It said July of 2020. Here, I'm going to screenshot this and then send you guys so you guys can see. I like to be able to do that. I wish I could do it with each one of them, but my back's hurting. In Australia, almost Antarctica today though. Is it cold? That was a day off. I remember people being like, she went missing almost a year to the day around the time, he was arrested. So. Thank you, Wolfie. I got it. And then here's this, you guys. That's the recent tweet I'm going to show you and then go look for some more. Dang it. I don't know what happened. Oh. Let's see. Dang, I cannot get it to... Okay, there we go. Bentley tried to come in here and him and his dad were at the door and I got a little bit confused. But there's that tweet. And let me go back to Twitter. Oh, it was your birthday, Vicky. Okay, Agent Grusing said it appeared that on Saturday, May 9th of 2020, that something either happened to Suzanne or her phone. Barry Morphew agreed and asked, is there any sign of anyone getting into the home? No. Sure, I told her that she can link that channel. So I would, if she wants to, she can. I don't. Do you know it, Woofy? Or Woofy can if she knows. But I don't want you to worry too much about it. If she don't, unless you want, you can always do. If it's something you're interested in, you keep asking her. But if you're asking her for me and she doesn't, then that's okay too. Whatever you guys want. Okay. That was the last one about anyone getting into the home. And then let's see, Ashley Franco. She has a couple. So 3 minutes ago, Ashley says Barry Morphew met investigators in April of 2021. They asked him about who saw Suzanne alive last. He said it was him. And then she says Barry Morphew said if he would have known Suzanne Morphew wanted a divorce, he would have written her a check for half and let her go her own way. Really? I know, Be Real. It is a little bit confusing. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. In search for AK. Okay. That's okay. Mystic Firefly, if you want to, you can message me privately. Yeah. I would love that because I do want to check it out. I don't know, Woofy. She knows both of them. Immunity request. Maybe he was thinking of a plea bargain but got his terminology wrong. Possibly, yes. That's probably what it was. No, it's okay, Shar. You don't have to look it up. I'm not too worried about it. I was just going to link it for you guys because a couple people were saying that they did a really, really good videos or that they loved them. But it's not that big of a deal, truly. I like AK. AK and AB has it out for me. Let's just forget about AK and AB. Especially if one of them has it out for you. I was just trying to be nice and link, whoever we were talking about, and it's okay. Thank you, Shar, so much. Okay. Lauren Sharp. Agent Grusing reached out to a parks and wildlife expert about tranquilizing an animal. He asked if an animal tranquilizer like BAM would be used on a female, what would happen? And that was the last one. Okay. 6 o'clock. Oh my goodness. This probably is the last witness of the day. Ashley Franco, 23 seconds ago. Investigators say after April interview, they interviewed Parks and Wildlife vet Lisa Wolf, asking what impacts a person would feel if they were shot with a tranquilizer dart. She said it would cause considerable hematoma, and someone of Suzanne Morphew's size would be out in 8 minutes. That's longer than I expected. 11 p.m. here, Allie. Shar, please, please, please go lay down and go to sleep if you're wanting to, and don't stay up too late because of me. I appreciate you so much. And you are you do an amazing job, but you don't have to. I always want you guys to put you first. For sure. Be real. Super long day. 8 minutes. That's so much longer than I expected. You probably would have to chase somebody around because think of it. As soon as you're hit, you're like, oh my gosh. Like she probably knew what it was. She'd been married to this man for a long time. I bet she would run from him. Awesome, Shar. Okay. That's how I feel. I want to be updated anyway, so I'm here. Okay, Lauren Shark, 5 seconds ago. If a person would be injected by BAM, which is the serum for tranquilizer darts, the human would be in complete sedation within 2 to 3 minutes. The woman would likely run, then become wobbly and unstable before dozing off. Huh? The other one just said 8 minutes. Look at this, y'all. I'm not joking. Okay. In 2 to 3 minutes, right there. Then we go to Ashley, who's also in the courtroom, court reporter, 8 minutes. So, yeah. I had a feeling it took a while, but not 8 minutes. RN from HO. Maybe the right link. Please let me know. Ran from him and locked the bedroom door. 8 minutes is a lot of running around time. Ran from him and locked the bedroom door. And the people who sold them the house said there wasn't a crack in the door. It doesn't necessarily mean it happened that day, but at some point someone had to kick the door down. Oh, thank you, Cheryl, for being here. I appreciate it so much. And you go make dinner. I'm trying to reach my... Hold up, y'all. Sorry. I'm trying to get my whole back in the screen. Okay. Yeah, I think 2 to 3 minutes sounds more realistic too. So, Cheryl, I love you so much. And Woofy, be careful. The wolf has to drive now. Okay. Lauren Scharf. Agent Grusing spoke with Barry Morphew about burned file folders in the fireplace. Barry said they were getting rid of old files. When they asked Barry Morphew questions and gave ridiculous answers like I tranquilize them, take the rack, even though they already shed it before March, how does the judge consider that for him or against him? Yeah, because he said he last used it in April. So that's a great point, Hannah. And it is how all of his answers have been. I'm confused now at this point, and I don't know. But they were getting rid of old files, so they burned them. I mean, it's possible. It's odd. They could, most people shred them and stuff, but it's possible. You're going to start making dinner with me, right? Yes, I want to for sure. I'd love to. Because that's how all of his answers have been. It's a fairy kind of day. Oh, awesome, Woofy. Yeah. So, Woofy, he said that the sheriff found burnt file folders in the fireplace, and he said they were getting rid of old files. Thank you, Bobby Pin. Thank you, Danielle. Thank you guys for sharing that. I'll check it out too. Okay. Quote, I don't recall, unquote, was a response Barry Morphy told investigators more than 95 times. Questions FBI had asked Barry after an audit of the investigation. Yeah, drive safe, Woofy, and be safe on the ferry. Okay. Ashley Franco says investigators say after April's interview, they interviewed Parks and Well. Oh, we already did that one. That was the 8 minutes. And then the other one was 2 to 3, which I don't know. Which one is correct? Yeah, Catherine, I agree. I agree. But this is kind of like what Letitia did. Every time there was some kind of evidence or something that made her look guilty, she had a reason for it. That, I mean, every time she could explain away everything. Even before you found out what it was, she would start explaining away, whatever it was. If you're trying, quote, if you're trying to twist my words, if I don't recall something, I don't recall it, unquote. There you go, so you guys can see it. Yeah, you guys have been awesome today. Really. Even the people who have disagreed and stuff have been awesome. Okay. According to investigators, Ashley Franco said 57 seconds ago, according to investigators during the April 2021 interview with Barry Morphew, they questioned him a number of times and he answered, I don't recall, over 95 times. When asked if he shot tranquilizer gun on May 9th, he said, absolutely not. Is like what my teenager does when guilty. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to do a general search for Barry Morphew. Latest. A transcript of the conversation between AK and Barry Morphew. Putting it here to read later. Huh. Hey, Amber, thank you. Yeah, he really cares. Good people. And he has messaged me personally 3 times today. That's so cool. Okay, let's see if, nope, no updates there. There's some interesting stuff that's happened today, but nothing too crazy. We have crossed paths before, Woofy. Woofy is an amazing person and mod and friend and all of that stuff. Really, you help me so much. All of you guys do. Shar, Woofy, Amber that just came in, Cheryl, Melissa, Nikki. I have so, and many more. And I'm so thankful for you guys. I love you all. Yeah, the last ones, if you're trying to twist my words, if I recall something, I don't recall it. I'm one of his 3 30-hour interviews with law enforcement. Oh, yeah, that's right. Just killed 85 chipmunks for no reason, but tranquilizer a deer. Tranquilize a deer. If he used a tranquilizer thing in April, that is true. They do usually shed before then. And to tranquilize a deer to take their horns, it's just so bizarre and weird. But I don't know. I don't know many people who like hunt to that level. I mean, people around me hunt, they always have, but just like go hunting in deer season and get a deer and, cook that. But the thing is, the individuals are very good at knowing what they do and don't remember. I don't recall is most likely a cop out. If we don't remember, we say so. Thank you, Christine. Are you a psychologist? Just curious. Or were you being funny? You may be getting me confused with another wolf. Names doesn't ring a bell. There's a few other wolves lurking on here. But he had steak and the best sex, yes. Barry Morphew told investigators that he voted in the 2020 election on Suzanne's behalf because he wanted Trump to win and said he knew the other guys were cheating. Well, if he thought she ran away, why wouldn't she want to vote herself? Come on. Like, he would only do that if he knew she wasn't going to. The only way he would know that she didn't run away somewhere is if he did it. Not just my opinion, y'all. Okay, according to Gruesing, Barry Morphew said all he had left in his life was hunting. Barry had hunted since he was 7 years old. If I have to live this life without her, at least I can hunt. And that is a quote. If I have to live this life without her, at least I can hunt. I do expect they will, Woofy. I just don't, maybe not in this preliminary, but I do think they will come up. Like, at least I can hunt. That was a quote, too. That's crazy. Barry Morphew, you're crazy. Okay, we have a new one from Crime Talk, but it's about the same thing. Barry answers, I do not recall to numerous questions Gruesing and investigators ask. Initially, Gruesing counted 95 I don't recalls. He said there's probably more. Barry has said before that liberals like Clinton and Jim Comey say I don't recall when they are lying. But I can't recall. Mark, you're so funny. So maybe it's not so odd the Wells boys are out there with buck knives. No, that's totally normal for that location, in my opinion. In West Virginia, I mean, my 4-year-old has knives. He doesn't have access to them, but once he's bigger, they will all be his. And, it's just in the country like this, yeah, that's normal. I mean, yes, I am a retired psychology lecturer. That's so cool. Well, happy to have you here in the conversation. Mystic Firefly, you need to check out this new Harley Dilly video. You guys are awesome. Yeah, Cheryl works with like child psychology, and she still has clients to this day with, young kids that are troubled and stuff. That's so funny though. Barry said that people say they don't recall when they're lying, but he said, I don't recall 90 sometimes. If you are who I think you are, Woofy, I did. Plus, I left you a comment. Now I'm confused. If Woofy is somebody else with the channel, then that will not. She doesn't have a channel, at least. Yeah, like it's normal for young kids to have stuff like that, but it's still really dangerous. If it's the wrong child, I don't know. Okay, Ashley Franco. Barry Morphew told investigators. Oh, we already read that one. So there's nothing new right this second. I always carry 2 knives at all times. That's funny. Okay, then good to know. Happy to be here. I'm loving this really friendly chat. Awesome, Christine. Thank you. I hope you guys will come join my other chats. I mean, I don't know when I'll have one about Barry again. If I do tomorrow, I might do some of it. I don't know what I'm going to do. But after that, it'll probably take something happening to do it again, unless I go in a specific aspect. Okay, Shar. Coda mini colors. Nothing really. We heard about, he said, he answered, I don't recall, 90 sometimes. Well, chat, what stood out to you that we went through? And if you guys have anything, then I'll, have any thoughts, because nothing huge, but little things the whole time, if that makes sense. So 37 seconds ago, from Lauren Scharf, Agent Grusing said Barry Morphew mentioned multiple times during the investigation that this is in God's hand. He allowed this whole thing to happen. It probably is why you guys like these sort of discussions. Or you're all into, the human mind. I'm not seeing anything new, but there was not as many people there this time that were tweeting last time live as it happened. There's several that are not there today, I suppose, because they're not tweeting anything. Yeah. The biggest thing I learned is that Barry and Suzanne had steak and the best sex on the night of May 9th. Yes. And, yes, Coda Mini Colors, we did learn that the hotel emailed the police and said that his room was directly over the pool and that 4 months later it still smelled like chlorine. So that's interesting. Now we still have the wet towels and different things, but he probably just went there to rest after being up all night. And they said that he went in that room and didn't come out for like 5 hours at one point. So yeah, I have one sub, Allie. Well, you need to have more. You were gonna start a channel, and I still think you should. Okay, Agent Grusing rode in the back of the car when Barry Morphew was arrested on May 5th of 2021. Morphew said, "How could you do this to me? I trusted you." Wow. That's right, Coda Mini Colors. She was a counselor too. She's not currently, but she could if she wanted, and she used to be. That is so cool. God did it. Case over. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe. He asked the police officer, "How could you do this to me? I trusted you. And this is in God's hands. He allowed this whole thing to happen." Is that what you're telling yourself, Barry, to feel better about what you did, that God allowed it? It's funny that the police officer got in the back with him. Shoot, I was muted. I have so much congestion. I'm sorry, y'all. The chat would have to tell us. I do know that he went to the hot tub place asking for chemicals, but I don't believe he actually got them. I think he was just asking a question. But there's people in here who are just so smart when it comes to this case, and they know so much. So maybe one of them will know. It's just so funny, though, that the police officer hopped in the back seat. He's like, "Yeah, what now?" Okay. Barry Morphew is sitting up in his chair with his arms on the table and his hands folded, leaning in as the state asks Agent Grusing questions about the arrest. Agent Grusing told Barry Morphew in the car that they presented the audit to the DA's office and that there had been an arrest warrant for murder. He's leaning in. He's trying to be intimidating. That's why I believe, maybe I'm wrong, could be totally wrong, but he adjusts himself at certain times. He, I do think he's trying to be like intimidating, like I'm still here. Oh, thank you, Christine, so much. That's why the conversation's so reasonable and civilized. Okay. I bet you this is going to continue. And there had been an arrest warrant for murder. Okay, 40 seconds ago, Ashley Franco. The lengthy audit interview with Barry Morphew in April of 2021 was presented to the DA's office, from where there Grusing says an arrest warrant was issued for murder. From there, Grusing says an arrest warrant was issued for murder. I was just thinking about how fun this has been today. You know why? Because you and the chat participate together. Many creators talked all the time and only occasionally read a chat. Oh, yay, Hannah. I'm so glad. Thank you guys. You guys have made it fun. I love it. I try to always, I love to, like, that's why I'm here. What got me started, like, making videos and stuff, because I wanted to talk about a lot of this stuff and had no one to really talk about with. So having the people, it's the best part. And feeling like you might could help change something, even just a little bit, just make a little tiny difference. Probably exhibiting intimidating body language without even recognizing it, because he's always been a bully. That's probably. Wasn't there messages from Suzanne's phone last time saying get chemicals for the hot tub? We all thought it was Barry on Suzanne's phone already pretending to be her. I don't remember that. I do remember something about the hot tub chemicals, but I don't believe that he ever actually purchased them. So Lauren Scharf 1 minute ago, Agent Grusing and Barry Morphew are just staring at each other as the state talks between themselves to figure out any more questions for Agent Grusing. I wish we could see this. Like, can you imagine? Did other residents complain about the smell of chlorine at the hotel? And what better way to clean up than to go to a hotel that has rooms near chlorine? Yeah, you're exactly right. Yes, I do, Cheryl. Really do. New sub, you're pretty good. Oh, thank you, Mr. Tomato Head, not Potato Head. Oh, that's just so funny. My son loves the Mr. Potato Heads. They have some really cool ones these days. Like, we have a Buzz Lightyear one. They have potato chips where you have to, like, stack them together. I know. I wish we could see him too, displaying arrogance and contempt. Can you imagine? I mean, let me read this again. Agent Grusing and Barry Morphew are just staring at each other as the state talks between themselves to figure out any more questions. So he's on the stand and Barry's at the desk. You guys have been so awesome. I'm so excited. This was so much fun. That's what kind of makes me want to do it tomorrow. It's fun. It just depends, because I'm going to be here without help with my little one. And I did that before, but I don't know. It's kind of frustrating. Pool place employee said he didn't purchase anything. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Tomato Head. Okay. We have another one. One used plate was recovered from the dishwasher. Agent Grusing said in interviews with Barry Morphew he had mentioned eating steak with Suzanne Saturday night, and in other interviews, Barry said they shared one plate and ate off the one plate. Then, Barry Morphew asked for immunity if he just sat down and opened up and opened his life up to the FBI agents. Grusing believes Barry meant that if he disclosed things to agents, he wouldn't be prosecuted for Suzanne's disappearance and death. One plate. Agent Grusing spoke with Barry Morphew about Burnfell. Thank you, Mystic Firefly, for sharing those tweets. I would think suicide would give him immunity. Does anybody remember that one Barry lover? I don't know what you mean, Wolfie. But one plate? Oh, they shared a plate. She's seeing another man asking for a divorce, and they are so in love, they're sharing a plate. She's probably so annoyed she don't even want to eat in the same room with him. I don't believe that for a second, y'all. When she married Barry Morphew, it was a marriage for life, according to Barry. So that was after he wouldn't be prosecuted for her disappearance and death. When she married Barry Morphew, it was a marriage for life, for her life, maybe, but not for his, apparently. And Nielsen is now cross-examining Agent Grusing. From May until July 8th, 13 interviews with Barry Morphew, which equal 24 hours. Mind you, we can all help babysit. He ate steak injected by Bam. I love my partner, but I can't. I ain't sharing my plate with him. That's enough for a divorce, messing with my food. Y'all are funny. Like, no. Agent Grusing is now being cross-examined. It's probably our last one for today, don't you guys think? Takes one to know one, cheating Barry. Okay, guys, I'll be right back. 1 second. Her channel is gone now. She was crazy, but she went to the hotel. Oh, wow. Oh, you're so welcome, little mama. Thank you guys for being here. Give me 1 second, you guys. I don't always get here for your lives, Allie, but I love when I do. Conversations are always great among chat. Oh, thank you. I love it when you do too, Bobby Pin. I always remember and recognize your name. He couldn't even pretend in his appeal video to Suzanne, so I doubt his act convinced her on their great date night. It speaks volumes that he would even be so controlling to make her eat off of his plate. Oh, I appreciate you have done today. Oh, thank you, Shar, so much. You're the sweetest. Hannah, I've got to go take a bath. I'm still in my jammies. What time is this over? I've done nothing today. Oh, thank you, Cheryl. It should be over, I would say, within 30 minutes or less. Because I do too. I've got to go, like, take Bentley to get maybe some dinner or something. He's in there eating cereal. Okay. Barry Morphew said he was 100% faithful to Suzanne during their marriage. No infidelity. You have done the same as me, Annabelle. I've done the same thing. Well, I mean, I did shower and get dressed, but I've done the same thing as all of you. Sit here and listened all day. But think about it. Even if they were in court, we'd just be sitting around watching them all day. Ashley Franco, 1 minute ago, June 2020, Barry Morphew said because of Suzanne Morphew's relationship with God, there is no way she would be unfaithful. Do I still have no sound? Or he was too cheap to purchase 2 steaks. Thank you, Cheryl. Okay. I need to do my damn dishes. I do too. I do too. I really do. That's gonna have to happen today. Okay, 12 seconds ago. Nielsen, which is one of the defense attorneys, is saying that Agent Grusing introduced the subject of an intimate partner, Suzanne Morphew, had to Barry on June 2nd. Barry Morphew said no because our relationship with the Lord, she is a very faithful person and of God, didn't want to think that it was a possibility. Qualifying word ending in ly is a lie. I just heard that somewhere else. Thank you so much, Christine. Sweet dreams, and thank you for hanging out with us. And yeah, Shar is in Scotland too. Okay. Absolutely not. Good point. I just tried to eat off of my coworker's plate. Now I have a fork stuck in my hand. Thanks, Alex. You heard it on Chris McDonald. Oh, okay. That's right. It's like all day, every day, you guys. I have earbuds in and I'm listening to stuff like, yeah. Christine Gladson. When they go through Dawn's call. Yeah, that's right. I remember now. Nielsen is saying that Agent Grusing introduced the subject. Oh, yeah, we already read that. Let me refresh. Nope, nothing new. Thought there was, you guys. There's no way she would be unfaithful because of her relationship with God. That was from Ashley Franco. The interview was so hard to listen to. I know that's where you are because I know what you watch. I have to go listen to that interview. I haven't heard it yet, but I'm looking forward to it. I watch all kinds of crazy stuff. The other night I was up, I started watching like Frenemies with H3H3 and his mom. It's a big podcast. Then I fell into watching Trisha Paytas because she used to be on there. And then I went from watching her talking about the show to like her talking about a skincare line she was coming out with, and then ended up in like the beauty world watching skincare reviews. I don't know how it happens, but you just like, I don't know. It's the beauty of YouTube. Charges her parents for not protecting her, and Trish to charge her parents. I still think he did it. I'd hate to see your coworker and Charcy together with one plate. Yeah, that'd probably be bad. Okay. July 8th interview with Barry Morphew lasted 6 hours. This is the grilling steaks interview at the Morphew home. They included the CBI agents and said a prayer for them around a table. I was married to a defense attorney for 25 years and would go in. Oh my gosh. That is so cool. I bet that was fun. Wolfie, I miss Tia's too. I'm never awake. Her and Melissa both go live so late. When I catch them, it's usually because I've already fallen asleep and woken up to go pee and then notice they're live. Okay. Barry Morphew says investigators put doubt into his mind about Suzanne Morphew having an affair. That was from Ashley Franco. Sure. I swear I do think it will end any minute. Last time, the first day I was watching like this, but I wasn't live, so I was just taking screenshots and then like I put it together in 4 videos for the breaks that happened. Then the second day I did the live stream, and then there was like a few days my brain had to rest because I was just so exhausted. Okay. CBI agents, 7 seconds ago from Lauren Sharp, CBI agents asked Barry Morphew about a possible affair in regards to Suzanne. He never thought that. They asked Barry if he had searched dating sites like Bumble. Barry said, I don't know what they are. He claimed he had never searched for another woman. Now, I wonder if this will come up. Because didn't they say that he was looking for cute girls in Salada? Dreaded midnight body call. I wonder how many steaks Barry has had lately. You guys are so funny. I used to work for a lawyer back when I was in my 20s. I loved working there. My mom did that too. She was a secretary for a while before she went on to, get a better job. She ended up getting a job with the prison that she retired with that gave her really good benefits and stuff, and it was a good job, but she worked there first. Did he sell his house before or after they told him about the affair? Ooh, good. That's a good thing. They told him about the affair on June 8th. That's what she just said. But it seems that it was almost instantly that he sold the house. So I'm sure they were close together. After hearing Alex, it sounds like if he gave up all the info, could he get immunity? In my opinion, he proved himself guilty at that moment. Wonder if that could be the bribery charge. Maybe. A wraparound black skirt and black stilettos. Ooh, I know you were looking good, Mystic Firefly. Y'all are funny. Okay. Quote, she is the love of my life. I would lay down my life for that girl. I'm telling you right now, I was in shock for 5 days. If I left something out or a time period, then it wasn't on purpose, Barry Morphew told investigators. She is the love of my life. I would lay down my life for that girl. And I have to say, I believe in psychics, but I believe there's a lot out there that are not really, and they pretend to be, and they ruin it for the real ones. But that psychic reverend, Donna Serafina, she predicted how JJ and Tylee would be found months before they were found. She also predicted that Suzanne and Barry went out to eat and then went on like a walk through the woods and stuff. And he said they went out to eat and went on a hike. I looked like Olivia Newton-John. Oh my gosh, like in Grease. I loved her in that. She's beautiful. Oh, you're fixing to, yeah, you're fixing to lay down your life for that girl, Barry. Mystic Fire, you are gorgeous. So I can imagine 20 years ago. You go, girl. Man, Allie on point. On the same bowl. Keep away from my frosted flakes. I can't see you, Mystic Firefly, in that picture. Let's see. Thank you, Shar. Yeah, there's her channel, and she actually has the readings up on Suzanne. I need to go back and look after hearing through some of this. Yep, so do not feel bad because you're turning 32. Well, thank you. Well, I don't feel bad. Like, I mean, look at J-Lo. Look at Mariah Carey. Look, there's so many beautiful women. It's not that. It's just like, how does it go so fast? You know? I don't know. And I think it's also like those numbers when you're a kid, you're like, 35 is old. And then you're 35 and you're like, wait, I'm young. What do you mean? I don't know. It's just weird. But yeah, I just hate that the time goes so fast. Everyone share their plates all the time. I turned 28 this year and never going above 28. Okay. Oh, that's true, Mystic Firefly. So they've seen you. Well, you are more than welcome to please, please, please link any of your Twitter, Facebook, anything that you do that you want to share, because I want to follow too, and that way other people can as well. Can you? I don't care. My brain thinks I'm 28. Woofy, I'm 28 and woof years. Y'all are funny. Was woof years like dog years? Okay. Barry Morphew was confused about the timing of the skid steer and what day he had visited Salida Stove and Spa. He wasn't confused about who he spoke to at Salida Stove and Spa. That was 1 minute ago from Lauren Sharf. Was age gracefully. Yeah, and thank you for coming and hanging out. I still feel like I'm 25. That's what it's all about. The older you get, the faster it goes. It's crazy. 58. My pick is from last October. Me too, miss. That's what it's all about. And there's some 20-year-olds who feel super old because they're not living the right lifestyle or for whatever reason. So it doesn't really matter the number. I know that. It's just weird at birthday time. You guys know what I mean. It's like, do you have to remind me that I'm aging, I'm losing the collagen in my skin, that my kids are growing up and, everything else? Do you have to remind me? Felt 40 when I was 15. Cheryl, I love that picture of you. Going to see my babe this weekend. He's 22 years younger than I. Oh my gosh. You go, girl. I bet that makes you feel young. 15 years. Oh, wow. That's so awesome. Nothing new from Lauren. That's awesome, Mystic Firefly. I could just fall over right here. Them stilettos. Yes. Nothing happening yet. It does. I figured that would. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Mr. Tomato Head. Thank you so much for hanging out. It was fun. Thanks for the laughs. I'm getting tired. Like, oh my gosh. I don't know how people do like the 24-hour lives and stuff. Because some people have done things like that. Woofy, me too. I think we should get retirement from 18 to 48. Then we have to work from 50. Makes more sense. I still do cartwheels with my grandkids. That's awesome, Cheryl. Okay. 31 seconds ago. Barry Morphew told investigators the night before Suzanne went missing that they had a nice night and were intimate that night, and then he went to bed. This make me throw up, why don't you? Just quickly pop back in. You might be feeling that the years are passing by more quickly because of all the restriction we'd have over COVID. I think many of us feel as though we've missed so much. I think you're totally right. And you know what? I have a series that I do on addiction on my channel because I had a really hard time with addiction. And I was looking, and the rate of overdose increased by 19%. It's never from one year to the next during COVID. It's never increased more than 6% before this year. So I thought that was kind of crazy. Okay, let's see. I'm breaking out of my COVID bubble this weekend. You go, girl, and you have a blast. Nothing from Lauren. You guys, I think we're about done. I don't see us getting much more. I'm trying to wait, but it's just going so slow. I will say this. Lauren Scharf probably tonight will do a live stream on her YouTube channel. I'm going to check that out, and I think you guys should too, because she goes into kind of describing what she saw and, the different facial expressions and all of that kind of thing, and about the girls and stuff like that. So, golf, frisbee, basketball, tennis, oh, that's awesome, Mark. I love that picture. Your hair is so pretty, coat of many colors. Y'all, I think we're pretty much done. If there was some kind of bombshell or something, how about this? I will post it in the community section because I don't see that happening. And you know what? Tomorrow I could, I guess, post about court in the community page. I don't know. And tomorrow nights will be an awesome McFlurry ride home with Q&A. Oh, yeah, that's right. They stop at the little McDonald's and get their McFlurries. So, yeah, definitely go check out her channel. Let me do one last search really quickly, and then I'm done. Oh, she says, I have to get ready for my live shot with Fox 21 News for the 5 o'clock news. I'll have another recap at 6:30. So, Lauren's done. I'm going to check Ashley, who I've been following as well. She said 12 seconds ago, Barry Morphew told investigators that if they believe he found out about the affair and did something, that they were completely wrong. So I think that'll probably be about all today. So yeah, I think she's off now, and if there's anything on the other one, I'll let you guys know. And I might do something tomorrow, maybe even just a part of it. I don't know. I'll let you guys know though for sure. Shar, thank you for everything. Thank you so much for your help. I love you and appreciate you so much. I love all of you. Cheryl, I love you so much. You're just all so special to me. So thank you guys. Listen to Kenny Chesney. Don't blink. I know. Oh my gosh. That song. Whew, I can't listen to that right now, girl. You're 6 years old and then you take a nap, wake up and you're 35 and your high school sweetheart becomes your wife. Oh, I know that song. Whew. Thank you, Mystic Firefly. I appreciate you so much, and I love my Charlie Faith. Yeah, it was super fun. I love the conversation. You guys are wonderful. Yeah, Suzanne's also like super lucky to have an awesome group of people like you guys. Trying to stand up for her and be there for her. So yeah, thank you guys. I love you all, and I will see you tomorrow or sometime soon, okay? Have a great night. I don't know, Hannah. I'll post it on my community page, okay? Thank you, Tranquil Forest, for spending your day with me. And yeah, you guys are awesome, and I'll talk to you soon, okay? Bye.